Thank you very much, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, the arrest in Brussels of the suspect planning an attack against the meeting of the MKO in Villepinte on June 30 and the following investigation is extremely interesting. It is interesting because for the first time since years we have here the clear evidence of the implication of the Islamic Republic of Iran in international terrorism operations inside Europe. The key man of this plot was indeed Assadollah Assadi, a diplomat in the Iranian embassy in Vienna and probably one of the coordinators of the special operation of the Ministry of Intelligence and Security, the Iranian department supervising the intelligence operation of the regime inside and outside the country. For me, nevertheless, it didn't come as a surprise. I was working on security issues for the last 40 years, first as a journalist, then and for 20 years as an agent for the French external intelligence, and for the last 16 years as the CEO of ESISC, European Strategic Intelligence and Security Center. And for 40 years, from time to time, I was confronted to Iranian state-sponsored terrorism. The first time I worked on Iranian connection with terror was in the 80s, when the Iranian authorities organized a large terror campaign against the French interest. I think it makes sense today to remind this period, which is full of lessons. On October 23, 1983, in Beirut, Lebanon, members of the Organization of the Islamic Jihad, a front organization for the action of the Iranian intelligence, attacked the Drakkar building, which served as a base for French troops. 58 French paratroopers were killed. The same day, by the way, in another attack, 241 US Marines were killed. Then we saw various terrorist organizations taking hostage in Lebanon. 4 of those hostages, Michel Serra, Jean-Paul Kaufmann, Marcel Fontaine, Marcel Carton, were French. Then, between December 7, 1985 and September 17, 1986, we had 11 bomb attacks in Paris. Those attacks killed 14 people and more than 300 people were wounded. I remember very well this period. We were absolutely blind, with no evidence to help us to understand who was behind those attacks. And then, after months and months, something happened. Some French authorities were discreetly told that both the hostage affair and the attack in Paris were linked to relations with Iran. Contacts were opened between Iranian envoys and some non-official French operatives. Of course, the Iranian representative never said they were the masterminds of the attacks in Paris nor the Beirut kidnappings. Instead, they posed constantly as honest brokers. They preferred to say, for instance, we have some information on the luggage you've lost. Luggage you've lost was the very exact expression they used several times to design the French hostage in Beirut. Luggage you've lost. And we think that maybe we can help you to recover 1 or 2 of those luggage. Of course, it will be easier if you do this or that. And we did it. We gave the Iranians everything they wanted. No more hostages in Lebanon, no more attacks in Paris. At least for a few years. Having observed and sometimes investigated on so many terrorist events linked to Iran, my deep conviction is that terrorism is not an accident in the history of Iran. It is a method. The Iranian government used terror inside its border when it hanged opponents, and it used terrorism outside when it thinks it could help its interest. Terrorism is so not less than one of the tools of the Iranian foreign policy. And the fourth tool is of course, terrorism. When they have a problem to solve, the Iranian leaders examine as a matter of routine which tool to use. And if they decide to use terrorism, they do it directly through the Ministry of Intelligence or the IRG, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, or indirectly through proxy foreign organizations like the Hezbollah or other organizations. That's why the Villepinte plot is so important, because it tells us that terrorism is still a routine option of the Iranian authorities, a routine option they use to solve their problems. It tells us also that with Iran, appeasement is not an option. We had the attack against the Drakkar in 1983. We did nothing. We didn't answer. 2 years later, we had the hostage crisis and the attack in Paris. We negotiated. 4 years later, we had the assassination of Shapur Bakhtiar. 19 years later, the killer of Bakhtiar was freed a few years ago, and then now we have the Villepinte story, the Villepinte plot. I think that this is something our leader must maybe take the time to think about. I thank you.